Well, the cost of insurance is on the rise across the nation. It's leaving many Americans asking why and what to do to keep coverage affordable. Joining us this morning, we have Robert Gordon with the American Property Casualty Insurance Association. So thank you so much for joining us this morning, talking about this important conversation. We're going to start with this, Robert. Why are insurance costs continuing to rise for so many Americans?
Well, it's really just simply inflation. Over the last few years, we had 40-year record inflation. It exceeded 9% at one point. As bad as inflation was, the inflation for building materials and labor went up even 50 to 60% more than that. So it's cost a lot more money when a home burns down or gets destroyed by the wind to replace that. And so that's really been the primary driver of cost, and then you add to that people living in more expensive homes in climate risky areas and climate severity and legal system abuse. All of those have been pushing the losses up that insurers have to pay.
So the hope at this point is that insurers are working to improve affordability for homeowners and for drivers. Is that the case right now?
It very much is. We recognize the challenges that a lot of American families face, and so insurers have been investing money in real science-driven solutions, both for autos and for homes. You've heard on the auto side the anti-lock brakes and the lane change warnings and so forth. Those are all safety systems designed by insurers to protect people and make them safer, reduce losses. We're doing the same thing for homes. Developing new mitigation for fire retardant roofs and storm-proof shutters to make those homes safer for people and more affordable to insure long-term.
So you mentioned some of the drivers that are kind of increasing these premium prices. So when these things happen, you talked about disasters, inflation, even, legal costs and things like that. When these things happen, explain exactly how they influence that premium pricing and make it go up.
Yeah, so what we've been seeing is the costs of disasters and losses to the homeowners industry significantly rising. And so in the last several years until 2025, you saw the homeowners insurance industry actually paying out a lot more in losses and expenses than it was taking in premiums. Those rates are now starting to catch up, and so the industry stabilizing, and I don't think you'll see the rate increases in most states be as high this year as they were in previous years. But a lot of those loss cost drivers, like the weather, like inflation, those are still increasing, and we still have to make homes safer and lower losses for people.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, when you do have to make some sort of claim, we're seeing that a lot of people have found out that they're underinsured, and it's taking them forever to kind of get back on their feet. Any tips you have for consumers to make sure that's not the case for them and to just protect themselves financially?
Yes, it's really important, and this is a good way to reduce your rates as well. It's so important to talk to your agent, shop around, make sure you have the right coverage, that you're not overinsured or underinsured. Talk to your agent about the deductible. If you have a higher deductible, if you can afford it, that will reduce your rates. And then ask your insurance company about discounts. A lot of times you can retrofit your house to make it safer, more fireproof and windproof, and that makes it more affordable long term.
I think that the conversation about, checking your home and auto insurance is important, but it can be overwhelming for people, especially if they don't know where to start to make sure that they have the right coverage. Any tips you have for making it easy for people to check?
Well, that's why I think an agent can be very helpful to explain the coverages to you. I use an agent, even though I've been working in the industry for a long time, just can help explain a lot of the provisions to me. There's a lot of ways to go online as well. We have a website, www.apci.org/insurance, www.apci.org/insurance, and you can go there to find out a lot more information about how to make your home safer, and again, tips on shopping around.
Yeah, sounds like that's a great resource there. Robert Gordon with the American Property Casualty Insurance Association. We appreciate you for joining us this morning and having us think about this here at the beginning of 2026. Thanks so much for your insight.